Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, family, and acquaintances of all shades and colors, welcome to another Voice in the Dark. I know it's been a while, but I'm back, and I'm back here right where I belong, in the dark. Oh, what a time to be alive, huh? I mean, just think about it. Just think of everything that's been happening lately. Some good, some bad. You got the historic stuff happening over in the North and South Korea right now. The peace that's been brokered by Donald J. Trump, regardless of what people are saying. And, yeah, then we have all the stuff that's been happening at the borders. We have all the baloney that they're trying to blow at us about children being ripped from parents' arms and stuff like that, even though we know that that's not true. It's been proven that it's not true. But hey, that's okay. That's okay. Everybody's got to believe their own opinions on stuff. And I want you to all have your own opinions. Just do your research. Trust me, you should do your own research. But hey, that's all I'm going to say on that right now. Because let's face it, I don't like doing political crap. I really just don't. So we're just going to go with something else. So, Tom, how has your life been recently? Well, let me tell you a few things. To be totally honest, way back when, in one of my earlier videos of this year, actually no, it was the end of 2017, I remember saying that 2018 will in fact be a year of change. And, yeah, it's been a year of change, all right, let me tell you. Move the camera a little bit. There we go. That should work. And it's been a year of change so far, let me tell you. Yeah, I lost my house, as you all know about. And, yeah, I've been kind of bouncing around. I have an opportunity to move out of the state of Georgia, which I think I'm going to do. Not because I necessarily want to, but at the same time, it's just not, like I said, it's an opportunity. My brother has a house down there in Jacksonville that is kind of costing him a lot of money on upkeep. And he's been trying to get good people to live in it. But good tenants are hard to find sometimes. They just really are. So we've kind of come to a bit of an agreement. I'm going to move out there. And I'm going to help take care of the place, going to fix it up a little bit. And who knows, if I really like it out and do real well out in Jacksonville, out right next to Camp Lejeune, then who knows, maybe I'll make them an offer to buy the place. I know that they are trying to eventually sell it. So, we'll see. As far as business opportunities are concerned, one of the last videos I did, and it was I've gone way longer than I wanted to before talking about this, but I told you all I was going to start Ubering. I was going to start being an Uber driver. And I've been doing that here in the Atlanta, Paulding County area of Georgia. And I have to tell you, I love it. It's freaking great. I'm absolutely loving it. I really didn't think I would love it as much as I do. But I do. Driving around all day, I absolutely adore driving my car. You all know this already. But picking up people, driving them all over the place, driving them where they need to go, it's fun. It's great. I've met some absolutely phenomenal and fantastic people. I love them. I haven't. You look up Uber and rideshare and Lyft on the internet, and you just see all the horror stories. You see all the bad things. You hear about the people throwing up in your car because they're drunk, or the people that are violent, what have you. Or it's not like that. It just hasn't been like that yet. I'm sure I'm gonna get somebody like that eventually, but so far I've come across nothing but really nice people, and they've all been great. Great conversations, great driving. It's just been fun. You meet people from all different walks of life, going all different places. And some people don't want to converse, which is fine. You get some people who just very tired, they just want to go home at the end of the night. Hey, I completely understand that. I think we have all been there. The end of the night, end of the shift, I just want to go home. Hey, fine, no big deal. I mean, I have had one really weird guy who, well, let me start at the beginning of this one, and this is the only one I'm actually going to describe. But it's really late. It's dark, obviously, and that's when I've been doing most of my Uber driving is at night. And the app pings you, and you go and say you accept it. You tap it on the screen of your phone, and then you go, and it directs you right to where the customer is. No big deal. Well, I get to this place, and it's between Marietta and Kennesaw. Really, it's kind of one of those out of the way places where the neighborhood itself looks pretty darn run down. It doesn't look all that great. I'm thinking, all right. And I get to this house. I don't see any lights on, but there is a street lamp out front. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, no big deal. Notify the riders there. And one of the things I like to do as an Uber driver is, if I have enough time, I will get out and open the door for you, because I think that's just professional and polite. Well, I get out, I do that, and I open the door, and this guy comes walking out of the house and down the driveway. He was a little, I'd say, just shy of 6 foot, kind of gangly, dark, but not like black man dark. He's just kind of dark skinned, dusky, you know. And he doesn't blink. He doesn't blink once the entire time he comes down to my car. And I try, and as always, I be polite. And I said, his name was, his name came up as Ben on the app. And I said, sir, you ordered an Uber? And he stops right in front of the door, the back door open to the car, looks at me, and says in this monotone, almost dead-sounding voice, "Are you inviting me into your car?" And I'm thinking to myself, that's a little odd. And hindsight being 2020, that is when I should have said, nope, closed the door, and left. However, I didn't do that, obviously. And I'm just giving him narrowing my eyes at him a little bit, smile, continue to try to go for good customer service, and said, yes, if you ordered the Uber, then please, Timmy, go in and make yourself comfortable. At which point he does, and he's sitting behind me to my left. Right, sorry. He's sitting in the back passenger seat, basically. No big deal. I'm trying to make the Uber app work, because sometimes it's a little slow, and it'll navigate you to where to go, but this time it just was taking a very long time to actually navigate to, you know how when you use like Google Maps or something like that, and it takes a while to actually route because of whatever reason. I was having that much problem. And I was like, okay, well, this is a little weird. I'm sorry, sir. It's taking a little bit. And I glanced back at him in my rearview mirror, and he's just not wide-eyed, but he's just looking at me, not blinking, looking at me. And I'm thinking, okay. It says and he, like, no life or anything in his voice, just, yeah, I could tell you which way to go. Okay, so we pull out of the subdivision. Tells me the direction. We end up heading towards Barrett Parkway, and it was about a 20-minute ride, give or take, I think. And usually when I have somebody in the car, if they seem amicable or what have you, I try and start a conversation with them. Just friendly talk, friendly banter. And everything I said just fell flat against this guy. You know, his only responses to anything were or yeah. That was it. Okay, just not talkative type, I guess. And every once in a while, I still glance back, and I'm just like, he's still just eyeballing me. Finally, about 5 minutes left in the trip, it turned out he was going to one of the many plazas out there at Barrett Parkway. I couldn't tell you which one at the moment. I've forgotten. The navigation finally starts working. Like, thank God. It's like, hey, whoa, would you look at that? It finally started working. Okay. Get to the plaza, and I ask him, because he didn't specify which store he wanted to go to. I just kind of turn and I say, so is there any particular storefront that you want me to drop you off at? His response kind of unnerved me, so it doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay. Still eyeballing me the whole time. So I just pull up to the curb and put in park. Doors unlock, obviously. Like, well, all right, then I guess there you go. The guy doesn't get out. He's just still sitting there looking at me. I glance back at him. You sure that you don't want any specific store? No. Alright. And I'm thinking, maybe I didn't make it clear to this guy. This entire time I'm thinking, he has got to be on something. He's got to be on some kind of drugs. Maybe he got a good hit of something before he got here. But I didn't smell any marijuana. He didn't, his eyes weren't necessarily bloodshot. They were wide and manic. Looking, I should say, because he sure as hell didn't act manic. But none of the things that I would know personally about to look for in a drug user just wasn't there. I'm thinking, okay. So I finally get out of the car, open the car door, and I'm like, sir, if you don't need to go anywhere else, I need to get on with my night and get to the fair. He finally takes the hint, he gets up, he starts to get out. And this is when I finally catch a whiff of something on his breath. Ladies and gentlemen, the best way to describe this was just a whiff of dead, rotted leaves or freshly turned up earth. Or if you've ever been out in the woods right after it rained during like the fall, that sort of smell. That was the sort of scent I got. And it caught me aback because I'm like, I don't know about you, but people's breath is not supposed to smell like that. It's just not. So, yeah, he stands up, takes one last look at me. I just look at him, I tell him, you have a good night, sir? And he turns and walks off. At which point I close the door, I get back in my car, and I proceed to leave. I turn off my Uber app, and I start to head back to the house because I think that I have had enough for that night. I don't know what that was. I described it to my father, who, as a police correction officer over in one of the towns nearby, he runs into a lot of drug stuff, a lot of drug use and such. And he said that sounded like he wasn't on any one particular drug. He was on a cocktail. He was on a few things. And maybe, because he sure as hell wasn't acting normal. Now, the more superstitious and supernatural leaning of people might think that I had transported a vampire or maybe some other supernatural creature. But if that was the case, well, let me put it to you like this. I am not above the idea that there are things out in this world beyond the normal understanding, beyond the normal, that could move into the supernatural. This guy was on drugs, and who knows, he might have been just outright demon-possessed. Was it scary? I never felt worried, to be honest with you. A little unnerved, but not really like my life was in danger. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is my one weird Uber story. Doing this so far. Who knows? There'll be more. There'll be different ones. I'm planning on doing this for a while. It's paying very good, to be honest with you, and I'm enjoying it. So, yeah. I guess, who knows? The voice in the dark could very easily become, the voice of, the voice in the dark Uber Adventures. Or, it's the adventures of a rideshare driver. I don't know. Probably not. But we'll see. Okay, this video is going on 16 minutes now. So, yeah, with that story, I will let you go. And try to do these more often again. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. There's going to be other things I talk about. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. God loves you. I hope your night is great. I hope tomorrow is even better for you. And God bless you all. Good night.